Hi chums, I'm going to do a wee nail tutorial for you today. I have a cold, do forgive me. So first you just want to remove any nail polish that you have on currently, and then I'm going to use the Seche Vite Ridge Filler as a base coat. If I cough and splutter through this, I do apologise, but I've fallen victim to the horrible cold bug. Oh yeah, I lost a bit, I have no idea where it's gone to. But basically I used number 7 sky blue nail polish just to do the main base colour for the ombre. Okay, then you want a sponge, just a regular wash in the shower sponge, and you want to rip a bit of the softer side into an odd shape, doesn't matter what the shape is. Then I'm using the Barry M. What's going on in my head? Barry LC, I think it's called, nail polish, and that's going to be the colour I'm going to use as like my tips to ombre down. So firstly, just apply a thin coat from the tip of the nail to about 3/4 of the way down the nail. You want to keep it quite thin. You can sort of see there it's not like super dark, because you want that really nice sort of light fade where it meets the blue. And then you repeat the process a few times, using more and more on the tip each time and blending it down until you get the desired effect. And I'm going to use some studs, and that's just a wee bit of painted nail glue that I got from eBay. The studs I am using are, I believe, 2 or 3mm. So just paint the nail glue where you want to lay the studs down. You don't necessarily have to use this. A lot of the time I would just use my top coat and stick the studs or gems or whatever you're sticking on into the top coat, but I thought I'd give it a whirl this time with glue. In fact, it's the first time I used the glue, and to be completely honest, it wasn't any better than just using the top coat. So I'm going to do 2 lines running up my ring fingers in a small gold stud. So you want to get a couple on first, and then you're going to have a bit of jiggery pokery to get them, lined up so they're nice and straight. Those wee tweezers are just nail art tweezers that I got from eBay. They were 99p. And the wee case as well, that was from eBay. It's just like a wee tablet holder. You can get them anywhere, from like medication tablets. So I'm just going to create those 2 lines up my nail in the gold studs, rounded studs. And just making sure everything's nicely in the right position. You do have a wee bit of wiggle room for a couple of seconds. And there we go, one nail studded. I couldn't decide what I wanted to do, if I wanted to do another nail, and what I wanted to do on it. So initially I'd use the black stud you'll see there at the back on one nail, but then I didn't like it. So instead I have gone with the square pyramid silver studs. And I'm going to create a cross with these. These are 4mm. You could just use a wee orange tip as well, just to push things into place if the tweezers are a little bit big or bulky or a little bit difficult for you. And the other thing as well, if you don't have tweezers, you can use a cotton bud and lick the end of the cotton bud so it gets a wee bit damp, and pop it onto the stud. It'll lift the stud. Then when you pop it on the nail, the either glue or top coat will be sticky enough to pull it off the cotton bud, keep in place for you there. So there's a line up the nail in the 3mm silver studs, and I'm just going to place one either side of the second stud down to get the cross shape. I realise everybody isn't into crosses, so by all means, you can pick whatever designs you want. This is just the ones that I happen to do. Okay, then I'm going to pop on my top coat. I use the Seche Vite top coat. Some people love it, some people absolutely hate it. It can cause a little bit of shrinkage. It didn't tend to with this one, but sometimes I find that it can. What I would recommend, however, is probably popping a little bit of top coat over the nails with the studs on them, you know, every evening or whatnot, just to, you know, make sure they really stick on there, because you don't want to stick them on the next day, they, you know, or a couple of days later they just pop off. And I'm just cleaning around the cuticle with an orange stick there to make sure there's no excess nail polish, you know, any excess of the Seche Vite or anything sitting around the cuticle. I'm going to use a cotton pad and some nail polish remover just to clean it. When you ombre, it can get a wee bit messy around your nails. Oh, actually, I'll tell you a lie. I'm using the cotton pad to clean the studs. Again, when you're pushing around the nail polish, sometimes a wee bit of the nail polish can like come up on top of the studs. So you do tend to give them a clean first to make sure the surface is really clean before adding the top coat. Make sure with the square ones, because your nail isn't flat, they can sit out a wee bit like from the nail, just slightly, maybe at one or two of the corners, so make sure you get round those corners with the Seche Vite. Right, here we go. Now I'm going to clean up, because when you do the ombre, you know, it's quite messy. You do get quite a bit around in the nail bed area and the tip of your finger, so just use the edge of a cotton pad, or you can use a cotton bud if you like, whatever you find easiest. It's really good when I do these things in frame. That's what I'm doing, I promise. There we go. And repeat on the other hand. Again, make sure to remember to clean off those studs before you put any top coat on, because you'll be kicking yourself if you put the top coat on then you notice there was a little bit of nail polish on one of the studs or something. You'll also notice when you put your top coat on that the edge of the ombre and the ombre itself becomes a lot nicer, because it is like a stippling effect. Sometimes it can give the nails slightly strange texture, but when you put your top coat on, that smooths it all out and it's lovely. The last thing that I'm going to use is some CND solar oil to put on my cuticles, which I have used quite a bit of nail polish remover and cuticle sticks and whatnot around the cuticle, so you want to give it some love in. This will also help keep that whole area nice and nourished so you don't get any hangnails and things like that, and will promote nail growth too. And it smells like marzipan and it's quite delicious. Not that I've ever had marzipan, it could be stinking, I don't know. Maybe I have had marzipan. What actually is marzipan? Oh no, life crisis. My hands do look very, very tan, don't they? Interesting. And there we go, finished product. I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you have any more nail tutorials, makeup tutorials, anything else like that, please let me know. And I will see what I can do. You can also check out, there's more nail art on my blog, which is bexberry.com. I don't know why I'm feeling the need to do some sort of claw action here. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that, and please subscribe if you did, and hopefully I'll speak to you all soon.